Welcome then to day 3 of my solo expedition through one of the remotest parts of Western Australia. If you'd like to download the full series right now, the link is in the description. Morning. Yeah, things didn't go too well yesterday. Now I can't see the camera to talk to you, but at least I'm out of the wind. I'm Andrew St Pierre White, explorer, overlander and broadcaster with over 40 years driving 4x4s. Welcome to 4X Overland. I'm a prisoner of this hill. Not all of overlanding is sunshine and rainbows. Things do occasionally go wrong. It went wrong last night. It was my fault. I changed my mind. I could have taken lodgings there. It looked very rudimentary. It was quite expensive, but you know, I could have. And I thought, you know, it was 4:30. What I had feared had happened. It was very, very late, and then because now I was in a hurry, I went to try and find the link road to the Connie-Sue Highway. Missed it. Managed to find it. And it was the wrong link road. It was extremely slow and extremely rough. There was nowhere to camp. I thought, well, there's enough time for me. I'm not far. I was about 40 k's, mostly on the main road. Let's go back and get lodging. And they were closed by the time I got back. So now I've found the link road. I've used over 100 kilometers of fuel that I cannot afford. So I thought, I've got no choice to find a campsite close to the settlement of Warburton. So I'm actually on the Connie-Sue Highway right now, but I have to go back into town to get my top up with fuel. And a horrible, nasty, bitterly cold wind has come up. And I don't want to stand here in not a particularly nice campsite. Can't really move around and have breakfast in the wind. Well, maybe I should do it anyway. I don't know. Anyway, as I like to boast on my channel, you see the good and the bad. It's not all good stuff. It's the challenging stuff too. I play it as I find it, and as I see it is the way you see it. But I do think I'll have some breakfast this morning. And I'll eat it in there, out of the wind, and then I'll head off in that direction, Warburton, to get fuel tomorrow, and then get back onto this track. And this is the track that's going to take us due south. South is that way. Connie-Sue Highway. There's nobody else to talk to. I have made it so I can access my food through these holes here. There are 2 of them in this drawer. My food is in this drawer. My everyday food is in this drawer. And my backup food is in this box here that I can access while I'm in the car or take the box out. And of course the fridge, I can access it easily from outside, but I can also access it from inside. Actually quite easily. And I need a knife. So my back door, I have a lot of everyday kit that I might need on my back door, and I'm going to make myself some. I've got a nice muesli. Now this time, unlike yesterday, I did so much talking that by the time I had finished talking, my breakfast, my muesli, was a horrible, gelatinous, soggy gump. So this time, with my banana, I am going to eat it before I talk to you. I've got a carpet. I don't like carpet in carpet's fantastic for Velcro for attaching things to. Carpet as a tabletop is very kind in that it absorbs sound and you can put things on it and it's soft, but I now have a dirty knife and I don't want to put it on my carpet, so I need to put it somewhere else. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not a good kitchen top. But I will say that one of the other reasons for doing this trip is that I'm creating a course for the Overland workshop called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Overlanders. Thank you, Stephen Covey, for that title. It's very catchy. I'm going to borrow it from you if you don't mind. So that's what I've been filming now with that camera as well. So I've got 2 cameras. That's not running now, but anyway, enough talking. Breakfast. Warburton is called. I'm quite close to the town, so I've got mobile signal here. Ngan Yat Jaraku. I'm going to say that slowly so I get it right. Is the name of the shire, and a lot of the Aboriginal people in the area live in traditional ways. I like reading that because it means that I see the same things in parts of Africa where people live in the traditional ways, and that Western civilization hasn't removed their culture. It might have added to it, but hasn't removed it. They still live that way, and that culture is preserved. I like reading that. And they still teach their children, which I think is wonderful. I'm back on the track. I have a full fuel. I want to do a quick calculation of my full range, do a bit of maths. I'm carrying 200 litres of fuel. I'm draining from my sub-tank at the back first to get the weight off the back axle. And the average speed on this track, I'm guessing, is going to be between 25 and 35 kilometers an hour. I'm going to want to try and do 200 kilometers a day is my aim, roughly. And I'm thinking about lowering my tire pressures. They're at gravel pressures now, and I'm thinking I might go down a bit. Ease the vibration. Anyway, I'm on the trip. I'm on the track. This is the track that I came and drove for 3 days to get onto. This is it. I just sit in the seat for 4 days and turn this thing. I love it. The best. My radio set on channel 40, which is a general frequency chat for people on tracks like this. Not that I really want to monitor it, to be honest, but you know, if there's somebody, it's very, very twisty, or there are dunes. I do have a dune flag. I don't think there are dunes on this track. And as normal, what's going to happen is that if I talk on the camera, it is a trigger for somebody to talk on the radio. It's kind of normal. It's very similar to the Canning Stock, the central part of the Canning Stock, this area, of course, because we're a very similar line of latitude. And we are also driving through a section of the Gibson Desert, so It's very Canning-like. Nice to see some camels. The camel story is a very interesting one. These, of course, are not natural to Australia. They were imported, and they actually can be quite a menace to farming people. And they've made themselves at home in the Australian desert. Average speed is a little higher than I thought it was going to be. It's probably about 40 kilometers an hour average, which means that I need to drive for 5 hours a day to cover 200 kilometers a day. That's all right, 5 hours a day. That's easy. It's comfortable. Time for a break. I've been driving 2 hours. I've done 77 kilometers, which gives me an average of 35 plus k's an hour, which is kind of what I expected. Yeah, about what I expected. Corrugations have been really bad. In short, intense sections. Thank goodness they're short. I've let the tyre pressures down. I've eaten some chips. I've had half a bottle of Coke, little ones. And I have nothing else to say but that. Because the conditions are changing minute by minute, sometimes second by second, and the big washaways suddenly will cross the track, so you'll be fine and it'll be moderately smooth like it is now, and then suddenly there'll be a great big hole in the road. I'm driving most of it in four-wheel drive. On the very, very twisty bits, I'm putting it into two-wheel drive, but I just find that in four-wheel drive the vehicle is more planted. It's a lot less effort to drive. But for the twisty bits, of course you get a lot more understeer when the vehicle is engaged in four-wheel drive. So again, for performance and ease of driving, I'll just pop it back into two-wheel drive on the curvy bits. Surprise, surprise. People on the track. Looks like they're coming towards me. Motorcycle. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Good, and you?
Nice day for a drive, are you?
Yeah, first person I've seen all day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right, where do you come from?
Burton.
Oh, right.
Today, yeah.
It's okay there?
Yeah.
Track's through.
Hello there. Corrugated.
Yep. Doesn't get you better.
Yeah. Has it been bad there? See ya. was entertaining. At least it wasn't same old, same old. I'm a little over 15 kilometers short of 200 for the day's run. It is 3 o'clock. So time to start looking for a campsite. They are few and far between. I also want to hopefully camp in trees because this wind is blowing and it's very cold. So from now on, if I see a nice campsite, that will be it. Fiddle with the camera when driving over corrugations. I wanted to point the camera forward, but I've got to do something, and it means I have to take my eye off the track. And when I hit the bad corrugations, if I'm not in four-wheel drive, I always put it in four-wheel drive because I'll get my speed up. And when I'm actually using four-wheel drive, more when I'm driving fast and two-wheel drive more when I'm driving slowly. I want the stability of four-wheel drive when I'm driving fast. So horrible corrugations. I'm going to stop and turn the camera forward. There, that's now running forward. That's what I've got to do to turn the camera forward. I love listening to audio books, but I find that I can't really concentrate on what I'm listening to when driving in conditions like this because it's too noisy. So one has to concentrate really hard on what is being said. Even turning up the volume, still it's difficult to hear each word, and the driving itself takes far more concentration than one would need on a high-speed asphalt road where you can kind of lean back and cruise. There's no leaning back and doing anything on roads like this. You keep your eyes open, and that means it's quite tiring. So now if I want to turn the camera back onto me, there's a bit of a straight bit here. I have to feel with my finger. I press it 3 times. It should scan onto me. Has it? No, it hasn't. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Come on, you're supposed to do that. See? Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. See, that's why I've got to stop. Every time I want to change the camera, I have to stop. I just wish controlling it was a little bit easier. You can control it from an iPhone, which is even more difficult. So I've tried it. It's, then I don't just have to stop, I have to park. Because the controls on the iPhone are so small. I need my reading glasses on to control the camera. Nobody's come up with an action camera that is really good for filming inside a car. Right, found a place off the track. It's not a commonly used campsite, and strictly speaking I'm not allowed more than 30 meters off the track, but the track is just there. It's a flat open bit. Where's the wind blowing? Into my face. The GPS is telling me that we're there. And we've actually done all this today. All this down here to there. And then tomorrow we'll do, and we're going to camp. The last time I did the Connie Sue, I did the southern part and I joined the road there. And I remember this part here was actually quite easy going, the southern portion. And that's it down there. And I have to get all the way to Kalgoorlie, which is 1,010 kilometers from Warburton. And I am carrying, at the current fuel consumption, I'll make it, but with nothing left in the tank when I get there. But I think consumption is actually going to get a little bit better, because I remember that the southern part of the track is a little easier than what we've experienced today. But what I do know is we have no fuel to waste. I've got to be very conscious of that. Cannot afford to get lost, so I'm very grateful that the GPS is actually giving me enough. You might remember earlier on in the trip I had some issues with the maps on the GPS. I'm not getting the detail I need, but I can verify using the GPS that I am on the track. Earlier today I actually left the track and went about 2 kilometers off the track and realized it and turned around. Fortunately, the GPS did help me then, because if I hadn't had it working, I would have only known it much later. So it is working. I parked up, I climbed in the bank and had a snooze. Yesterday's drive, because of the mess up at the end of the day, exhausted me completely. And I woke up this morning tired, and today's drive has been tiring. So I just found myself, and it was a wise thing to do, is to, not drive until sunset. So anyway, I didn't film. The sun's gone down. I'll catch you tomorrow morning. I'm going to quickly make myself something to eat and probably watch a movie in bed or something. But it's cold. It's flipping cold. This wind is horrible wind. So fortunately I can get out of the wind. And the corrugations today, the droning, constant droning, it takes it out of you. So I'm gonna do that. The travel buddy is on. I'm just going to warm it up in the travel buddy. That's another beauty of the travel buddy. If you don't feel like actually making a meal, which for me is a lot, you just put something in there. It does take a long time to warm up though. So like an hour, like at least 30 minutes to get to 140 or 150, at least 30 minutes, if not more. So as long as you give it time, they're fantastic things. And I love my troopy because I can climb inside and get out of the weather. On a day like today, it makes all of the difference. Honestly, it makes all of the difference to enjoying a trip if the weather gets bad. Oh, right. I need to do an inspection of the car as well. I noticed something coming, the flat. I'll leave that for the morning.
Ow.